engineering. So today I am going to talk about my journey about CP and also my software engineer career. So I was invited into this meet by Ashish, and so I am excited to tell my journey to everyone out here. So first of all, it started in the first year of college. So I did my graduation from IIT Shibpur, and I did my uh, major in computer science. And in the first year, so I was exploring various domains like web development. I also did some Android and other stuffs. But gradually I saw that my interest was more aligned towards CP, and I started CP in my second semester. So when I started CP, so I started on Code Forces because that was the most popular website or platform that you tell for CP. So I started on Code Forces, and for the next 1 year, so I dedicated around 80 to 90% of my time towards CP because I didn't do anything else other than CP in that time. So I was not doing web development. I was also not studying for college because at that time COVID was there, so there were online classes. So I was just doing CP at that time for 1 year in from January 2020 to January 2021 or February 2021. Like I was only doing CP for that 1 year, nothing else. Like I was dedicating around 3 to 4 hours daily on CP at that time, and I became candidate master in around February 2021. So that was the time frame of my CP journey. After that, I took up various internships, and also I didn't get to do much of CP. So that was the prime time of doing CP for me. So regarding the journey about CP, so I started, as I told, I started on Code Forces, and I used to practice problems from AtCoder also, and there is a problem set called CSES. So that is a very famous problem set for CP as well for learning standard techniques. So I used to learn from edu courses on Code Forces as well. So if you are looking to start CP and learn more about CP, I would recommend that you should definitely solve that CSES problem set. And also, like, edu courses on Code Forces is a very good resource. Apart from that, the best way to upskill in CP is practice, practice, and practice, as they tell. So the more you practice, the better you do at CP. So if you are at a particular level or at a particular rating, let's say you are at particular 1500 or 1600 rating, so always practice problems of 1700 to 1900, like plus 100 to plus 300, so in that range. So always practice problems which are outside your comfort zone. So I did that for 1 year. I only did that for 1 year. To be very honest, I didn't buy any course or I didn't follow any YouTube channel as such. I used to just go on Code Forces, log into my account, and just start solving problems which were outside my comfort zone. Like when I was around 1700 level, I used to solve around 1800 to 1900 level questions. So that was the thing. Now regarding the practicing of problems, so for a particular problem, like it's absolutely okay to see tutorials. Like many people think that it's not okay to see tutorials if you are not able to solve on your own. So the first point about solving problems or practicing problems is that like it's absolutely fine to see tutorials, because if you don't see tutorials, you don't learn new things. Okay, so when you see the tutorials, you learn new things which you didn't knew before. Okay, so seeing tutorials is fine, but one thing you have to keep in mind that don't see the tutorial before trying out yourself. Okay, so just don't go and see the tutorial. So go to a problem, think about the problem, think about all the solutions you know or all the algorithms you know till now, if that problem can be solved using all the techniques you know till now. If not, if you feel that it is not yet solvable by me, then you just go and see the tutorial. So there is no harm or problem in seeing the tutorial in that case. Okay, so that's the thing. So I would say that's very much about CP journey, CP techniques and all. Like there is not much hack or something like that in CP. It's just like that how much you practice and how much you can uh, keep your nerves under control in the last few minutes of the contest. Okay, so it's more about keeping your nerves and like practicing as much as you can. So nothing more to discuss about that. uh Now next, if I talk about my software engineering career, so uh my first internship was in a startup which was a CA farm. So they hired me as a web development intern back in my second year. Okay, so that was my first internship. I developed some website using Node.js and all. Okay, my second internship was in Coding Ninjas. I worked as a problem setter there. I used to set various problems on CP and all. So some of you might have seen questions set by me while solving Coding Ninjas problems and all. So I used to set problems for their Code Studio platform or their competitions like Codecast or something like that. I don't remember the names. So that was my second internship, and then I got into HackerRank. So my HackerRank internship was also of the similar role. Like I used to set hiring problems. Like I used to set challenges for OAs and hiring challenges for various companies, and those were used in like real hiring drives. Okay, so that was my role in HackerRank. And also I worked on a test case generator in HackerRank. Then my first software engineering internship was in Microsoft. I did that in my third year, like at the end of my third year, and and I worked on implementing a Microsoft email API in that internship. The tech stack was C# and .NET as usual. Like that's the basic tech stack of Microsoft. Everything, majority of the things in Microsoft is done using C# and .NET. So that was the first software engineering internship, and then I did another problem setting internship at Scalar, and then in the last semester of my college, I did my second software engineering internship at media.net. There I worked on various things. Like working in a startup has so many perks that like you work on various technologies, you work on various projects. So I worked on implementing ChatGPT API. I worked on implementing DALI APIs, and I also worked on icon generator, AI icon generator API. So out of all the internships, I would say media.net internship was the most interesting one. So then I also got a PPO from media.net after my internship, but I chose to join Microsoft. And like I joined Microsoft in the month of July as a software engineering intern full time. And I have been working in Microsoft legal team. Like whenever like you buy some Microsoft products or you opt to use some Microsoft service or something like that, you have to sign a contract, right? So that part is handled by the Microsoft legal team. So I'm working in the Microsoft legal team. Like my team is agreements team. So that's the team I am working on. The tech stack is as usual C# and .NET for Microsoft. So briefly, that was all about my journey about software engineering career and CP1. So I would like to start the Q&A session. Like if you have questions, you can write in the chat and I would try to answer. Some good resources, yeah. So for resources on combinatorics and like any CP topic, I would say that there is a website called cpalgorithms.com. Okay, so you can go and search cpalgorithms.com. So that is a very good website for CP. Okay, so if you can learn all the algorithms from CP algorithms, I believe you can become red on code forces. Okay, so this website literally has all the resources and all the algorithms, even the advanced algorithms like FFT and all those in that website. So you should definitely go and look into that website and start learning algorithms and implementing them. Do you always prove greedy. No, like you don't have to prove greedy. Okay, like if you feel like intuition is okay, intuition is okay, so you can go with it. Like many times we go with intuition, like we don't prove. Uh, to be very honest, like we also don't have the time to make the proof while giving a contest. Okay, so intuition really works well if you are well experienced, like you don't have to always prove greedy. uh Coming to the next question, like if you are decent enough in DSA, like startups will focus on system design. Yes, so in my cred internship I got a round on system design as well. Like in my media.net also there was a system design round. So startups will have a system design round. So the round will be very basic, it will not be very advanced, but you should know the basics of building a system, and like what are like cache evicting and all those things, and like data sharding or database sharding. So all those basic things you should know. Okay, so I think if you know all those basic things about building a system, that should be enough for going through new grad system design interviews. So for preparing for system design interviews, I would say that Gaurav Sen's playlist is a very good website. Sorry, a very good YouTube channel. So apart from that, you can also read blogs on Medium, or there is a newsletter. I don't remember the name. Uh, and also there is another YouTube channel of a Facebook engineer. Just a moment. I don't remember the name. Just a moment. Let me search. Okay, I don't remember the name, but there is a YouTube channel of Facebook engineer. Like he works at Facebook. So that is another very good YouTube channel for learning system design. So I would say that start with Gaurav Sen's playlist, and I think his name is something Rahul, or I think his name is Rahul. Like, so go and search about Rahul Facebook, something like that on LinkedIn. So he also has a very good playlist. So you can see that playlist as well on YouTube. So coming to the next question. How do you do manage development? So as I told that when I was doing CP, I was only doing CP for that 1 year. So I didn't do anything in that uh, time period. After that, I started doing my internships and I started doing development. So CP took a backseat after January or February 2021. Okay. So it's difficult to do both development and CP at the same time. So to be very honest, I never did both of them at the same time. For that 1 year, I was only doing CP. I got to CM. And then after that, like I was just doing CP for like hobby kind of a thing. I was mainly focused on my internships and development. So you can focus on only one thing at a time. Okay. So don't try to do both of the things at the same time. Try to do only one thing at one time and focus on that. So no, I was not a hosteler. Like I was a day scholar. Like I used to travel from home to college every day. And like I have solved 300 plus 300, as you said, still. Yeah, so if you are solving problems which are outside your comfort zone, but your rating is still not increasing, there can be two reasons. First one is that like you are not being able to solve the question in a limited time period. Let's say you are taking too long to solve a question. And the second reason could be is that like you are too dependent on tutorials. Like uh, I told that you can see tutorials, but when you are seeing a tutorial for a particular problem, you have to make sure that next time you get a similar pattern or a similar design problem, you should be able to solve that on your own. So either you are not understanding the patterns or the designs, or you are taking too long to solve the questions. So these two could be the probable reasons why your rating is not increasing. So you should try to fix that. For off-campus placements, I would say everything matters. Your CGPA matters. Like people think CGPA only matters in on-campus. No, It in off campus as well, it matters. Your CP profile will matter, your internship experience will matter, most importantly. Like, let me tell you one thing. Before doing my Microsoft internship, like, there were very few companies like which shortlisted my resume. But after doing the internship, like, I would say many companies are shortlisting my resume. So internship experience is very important, like when you are going for off-campus placements. Okay. So that's the most important criteria, having some experience or having some software engineering experience on the resume. Like Abhishek told, like, how do you deal with the current distractions while doing CP? Like, what kind of distractions? Okay, so let me go to the next one. Like, I'm in the fourth year. So if you didn't study for 3 years, like, that's no one's fault, right? Like, it's your fault. Like, you didn't utilize 3 years, so you have wasted. So you have to make it up, like, by working very hard in the fourth year or something like that. So you have to make up the 3 years work in a year or the time you have. So if you have wasted something, you have to pay the penalty for it. There is no shortcut or hack for that. Okay. Uh, the websites that I mainly used for the practicing while I was doing CB was mainly code forces, but I would say that you can use AdCoder as well, and that problem set on CSES. So those two were very good websites. One of them is CF and another one is AdCoder. If you have taken referrals for software engineer intern, let me tell you, Microsoft doesn't hire off campus. It was an on-campus opportunity. Like, Microsoft visits the campus and takes from there. So the opening was for everyone, but it was an on-campus drive. As far as I know, like, I'm not very sure, but every year Microsoft does this only. Like, except Microsoft Engage, like all the placement drives for fresh grads and internships, like, are on-campus drives. To stand out in off campus, you have to have something differentiating. Like, you have to have either very good experience, like you have done 2 or 3 internships, or you have very good CP achievements or CP skills, or maybe let's say you have very good open source contributions, like you have done GSOC or MLH or something like that. Like, you have to have a factor which differentiates you and the others. Like, for improving observation, you have to practice more. Like, there is no hack for that. Like, when you practice more, you will gradually improve the observations. For projects, like in interviews, like, they will ask about what was your motive for the project, what are the challenges you faced while making the project, and what is your future vision about the project, and most importantly, what problem did your project solve. For development, like, I did development during my internships only. Like, I was doing an API development or an API integration in my Microsoft, and I was developing an API, 2 or 3 API endpoints in my media.net. I was also fine-tuning some ChatGPT and DALI APIs in my internship. So I did all of my development stuffs in my internships only. Okay. Like, Microsoft Engage is stopped. Like, Microsoft Engage is not continued from this year. Like, it was there for the last 3 years. It was started from 2021, I guess, and this year they have stopped. So Microsoft Engage is not there anymore. Media.net was not on campus for me. I got it off campus. So since I got Microsoft on campus, so there is a rule that only one offer you can get from on campuses. So I was not allowed to sit in any other companies. So both Cred and Media.net was off campus. I got internships without having projects. Yes, I didn't have good projects on my resume. But like, I had internship experience, so that compensated for my projects section. So do Microsoft hire off campus? Like 99% chance is no. So 1% chance is that like they sometimes like when there is a new team or something like that, so they do some off-campus hiring. So in that case, only you can get off-campus. And another way was there, like in the last 3 years, they were hiring off-campus with Engage, but like they have stopped it from this year. So ideally, like there is no way to get into MS off-campus. Yeah. So the first internship of my career was on campus. So in on campus, like if you have a good CGPA and if you have some kind of CP achievements or that thing, like I was a CM on code forces. So and I also fairly had a good CGPA, like I had over 9, like 9.2 or 9.3 CGPA. So if you have a good CGPA and a good problem solving skill, portfolio, like you generally get interview calls. And so that's how I got into Microsoft for the first internship of my career. So any other questions? Just as I told that you have to practice, like there is no hack or no shortcut kind of a thing that to improve in CP. So you have to just practice consistently. CGPA does matter. Like from my personal experience, CGPA does matter in off campus as well. Like try to have as many things as you can in your favor, like CGPA, projects, internship experience, CP achievements. So the more things you have in your favor, the higher the chance of getting shortlisted. You can mail, but don't spam. Like you can mail once. If they don't reply, you should stop mailing. I never practiced on a particular topic. I used to go and means arrange the problems according to the difficulty level and then used to solve them. I never solved topic wise because any nowhere you will get topic wise questions, not in interviews, not in contest or OS. Like you will not get topic wise. Like no one will come and tell you that this problem is from this topic. So never practice topic wise. Always practice difficulty wise. Like Amazon does hire off campus, but like they are not hiring now since like there is a hiring freeze. So like the state in Amazon is not very good. Like the persons who already hold an offer, like they have been given the joining date in January. So the situation in Amazon or any big tech, like in MS or Google also, like the situation is not very good for hiring at the current moment. So like I would say the best bet for now is like going to startups. Like startups are hiring and startups do pay according means do pay well. Like in some startups, like they pay even more than the big techs. Uh, I am not a market expert, so I really can't predict when the market should be back to normal. So, but I think in 2 or 3 years it should get back to normal. Like for cred, like there was a coach chef contest like Cred was hiring through that. So some top 50 or top 100 rankers were called for machine coding round, and from machine coding round, the top 10 or 15 were called for interviews. So that was the process of applying to Cred. I think CP is not really required for MS or Google interviews. Like if you can solve lead code medium or lead code hard questions, like I think that's enough. Like you don't need CP for that. And the average rating I would say for lead code hard and lead code easy should be 1400 to 1300 questions. So one thing is that like getting interviews is 10 times tougher than cracking the interviews. Like for interviews, like if someone is expert or candidate master, like he or she can easily get through the MS or Google interviews, like DS interviews. It's not a big deal to crack the interviews. No, yeah, I worked on one of ML projects like in my final semester. So my college project was on Twitter sentiment analysis, where I trained transformer models and like I predicted or classified tweets into abusive and non-abusive tweets. I never learned ML. Like from college courses, whatever they taught, I used that for building my college project. I never learned specifically ML or something like that. No, research papers are generally used for PhD and MS. Like if you are planning to do MS from US or UK or something like that, you need research papers. That helps. Or if you are looking for PhD from abroad, so in that case, research paper helps. Otherwise, research paper is not of any use for interviews or jobs. I told that so resources for DP is CP algorithms, that website, and I would say Lead Code also has a fairly good DP problem set. And if you want advanced level, you can go to CSES problem set and all. I think you can solve the Strivers playlist for DSA. Like it is a very good playlist and it covers all the topics. So I think that's all for Q&A. No more questions. So yeah. Life at MS is very chill, I would say. Like the workload balance is very good. Like generally there is only around 3 to 4 hours of work, and like they provide the flexibility of working at any time of the day, and also you have the flexibility of working from anywhere. So also like the office vibes are very good. Like you means there are plenty of perks, like you have a free gym, you have a free cafeteria and all of those. Like I am at home only currently. Like I visit Bangalore, means sometimes visit Bangalore because some of my friends are working from office, so I go to visit them. So it's not mandatory to work from office, or you can literally work from anywhere. So that's it.
Okay, thank you, Anish. It's a great sessions. And
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
okay, so I have stopped the recording. Okay.